Madam Mayor,
Good evening.
members of the City Council, City Manager. I'm going to preface my remarks with something I had not planned on. So therefore, I hope that you will understand why I'm saying it. I swore to myself that I would never speak as my years on the City Council, which were 11. When I first came on the City Council, our meetings were going till 1 and 2 in the morning. I implemented the 3-minute rule to speak for the people because it gave more people the chance to speak because others were dominating the podium. Department heads were limited to 15 minutes and so were developers. That made it fair for everybody. And as a result of that, we were getting out of here by 11 o'clock as a rule and never ever hardly went past 12. Now tonight, you allowed 2 speakers to speak for 2 hours and 10 minutes. It went to 9:20. 2 speakers dominated this. And as a result, you lost 28 people that went out that door. Now, I like to think that I represent the common man. I've been a citizen for 70 years. I represent Joe collar worker, the blue collar worker. There are many people here tonight that have to go to work tomorrow. They can't afford to stay up till 11:30, 12:30, 1 o'clock. And no wonder I hear people say we turn you off at 10:30 and 11 because they go to sleep at home. So I really want you to take the action and not let people like the planning director here, which is not his fault, or the gentleman that followed him. I would really want you to take care of the people that come, because normally councils say no one ever comes, and we don't like it. We want them to be here. Now tonight you will have a full house, and when they come here, they want to be heard. They want you to listen to them. They don't want you to be like Congress back there where 60%, 61% of a Gallup poll does not like this new tax cut. 61%. And guess what? They're going to ram it through our throats tomorrow. We're going to have to live with it. And you watch what will happen. I will now get into the gist of my talk. Thank you for listening to me tonight. I've always been a strong member of the City Council. In 98% of the times I've been up here, I have supported them. There have only been 2 times that I have been vehemently against them. And that was one, many of you may remember, I'm sure Ms. Crafts does, and Frank, is when the big networks wanted to come in and run our television stations. They brought in Walter Cronkite and CPS, and the city, which I fought, said we're going to go it on the loan, and they did, and guess what happened? We lost $43 million on that boondoggle. The only other time I took exception was the selling of the golf course several years ago to developers. And it finally took the people to rise up and pack this chamber every week. I'm going to pass on a couple of things here, and I hope you have a pencil to remember these. I'm going to give you 2 words that sound alike but have different meanings. The words are no, K-N-O-W, and the other word is no, N-O. I brought my family up to learn to say no. Learn to say no to drugs. Learn to say no to alcohol. Learn to say no to cigarettes. And you've got to learn to say no to the developers coming in. At one time, we were known as the Isle of Style and the Isle of Pleasant Living. We have now bastardized ourselves, and we look like San Leandro-ized, Hayward-ized, El Cerrito-ized, and Berkeley-ized. We now have traffic problems that are insurmountable. I don't care how much of a rosy picture the developer put up there tonight. If you believe that, you believe in a fairy godmother. If you think those projections on the income are going to come to fruition, you better start whistling through a graveyard, because they're not. It's interesting to note, they point out we're going to go by transportation, by Muni, or by by AC Transit or by bicycle. Yeah? When they ran those pictures up there, guess what? I didn't see a bus drawn. I didn't see a bike, but I saw two nice cars. And guess what else I saw, which is disturbing? A lot of planters, a lot of median strips, a lot of trees. Where are you going to get the water? They've cut back recreation and parks here so bad that they have to only water around the trees. And we're losing trees because they don't get the proper nourishment. East Bay Mud has put tremendous restrictions on them. Where are they going to get the water? Where do you think people are going to now? How do you think the traffic is in the morning for the mothers to deliver their kids to school? They're backed up. They're backed up at the tubes. They're backed up at Bay Farm Island. They're backed up all throughout the city. What used to be a standard stop at a stoplight in Alameda was usually one. You pull up, I'll be there in a second, thank you. It would always be maybe one stoplight. Now we are like the cities I mentioned earlier. 2 stoplights, 3 stoplights, 4 stoplights. Go down Oak Street at 5 o'clock. Go down Fernside Boulevard, 8th Street, Otis Drive. See what's happening in this city. Because most of the people that work here in the city don't live here and don't have to put up with it. And finally, the people are going to do this, the developers. Last sentence. They're like the person that walks their dog down the street and they're conscientious and the dog poops on your lawn and he picks it up and puts it in the bag, knocks on your door and says, here, get rid of this. He's going to leave you with the headache.
Thank you very
much.
Thank you.
I oppose this development vehemently, strongly. Think it over, use your head, take a position.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good evening. Barbara.